Rather than argue with reality, learn the rules so you can shape it to your wishes. Someone really smart said that, and it's the key to everything. The rules that we follow and agree to participate in are what make up our reality. There are simple moral code type rules that stop us from slamming into somebody because they cut us off in traffic, or punching an old lady because she's walking slowly or standing in front of a doorway. But then there's other rules, and these rules are a bit harder to see. And the thing about these rules is what's fair doesn't really matter. If the hardest working person was rewarded with the most money, then construction workers would be driving around in Lambos. Or the janitor who has to clean the toilets at a shitty steakhouse would be wearing a Patek while he's mopping the floors. But obviously these aren't the highest paying professions, and it works the same way in dating. You'll hear men complain about, oh, women only like bad boys, women only like the guys that treat them like shit. If I had that girl, I would be a king to her. I would treat her so well. I would get her flowers. I would kiss the ground that she walks on, but she would never give a guy like me a chance. And they get mad that the women that they want are rewarding somebody who they are not. So they try to take this moral high ground and say, I'm a good guy, that guy's a piece of shit, women are evil. And those are the people that end up in comment sections mad at the world. They're mad at successful people, they're mad at pretty girls, they're just mad at everything because they have a fundamental problem with the way that reality works, and they are not doing anything about it. And that's the thing, reality is concrete, meaning it is as it is. And if you don't like your reality, you have two options. You can either accept it for what it is, or you can go and change it. And when you do this, something beautiful happens. You're no longer sad and you have some direction, because if you accept your reality for what it is and you stop saying, woe is me, the world is the cause of all my problems and I just got the short end of the stick and this is unfair, you stop complaining and you just accept whatever position you're in life, and you look at the world objectively and you make the decision to no longer put yourself in a state of hell, and you accept that you're unwilling to make the changes or the sacrifices or do the things that would result in a different reality and a different outcome for you. You can make that decision of acceptance and that's fine, you'll no longer be pissed off at the world. Or you can decide that you want to change things about yourself so that you fit into reality in a different way. And your entire life becomes different, your entire reality becomes different because you made the conscious decision to become the person that reality is rewarding. Whether that's a different type of career or starting your own business or becoming more of the person who the women that you want find attractive, again, rather than complaining about it. Once upon a time, I was in a disagreement with reality. I wanted to start a business and have more freedom and drop out of school and live that kind of flashy lifestyle that I see people do on the internet, but I wasn't doing anything about it. I was your average college kid going out 3 or 4 nights a week with no direction in my life, and I felt absolutely lost. And then one day I woke up and I was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? You're kind of mad at the world right now because you're not getting anything that you want, but you're also not doing anything to change the current situation that you're in. So that day I decided to change my life and shift my habits, my beliefs, my entire persona into the person who is getting the things that I wanted out of life. And if I fast forward a bit, I have exactly that. I have the lifestyle, I have the material items, I have the relationships, I have the impact, and I have become the exact person that I wanted to be. And looking back on my journey, there are 10 main rules that I adopted, that I abided by to go from where I was to where I am now. And if you're somebody who wants to transcend into a better, higher version of yourself, these 10 rules will help you do exactly that. Rule number 1, there are no rules. I know this is ironic, but stick with me. Reality is as it is, meaning it's a blank slate. So you get to create your own rules. And right now, most of the rules that you are following are probably just ideas, beliefs, and limitations that other people have placed onto you that you haven't reconsidered, you haven't audited and decided, hey, does this belief that I have about the world or about myself align with the reality that I want to create? Or is this just something that's been programmed into me and I haven't questioned it or thought about it in a long time? So when you really think about this, the only rules that you are following right now are the ones you've created in your own head. Most of your anxiety and feeling like you're not living in alignment with your purpose stems from you feeling like you're obligated to do things that you don't want to do. So the first thing I'll ask you is, when was the last time you really thought about all the freedom that you truly have? Right now, if I wanted to, I could pack up all my things and move to a different city, or I could get rid of all my things. I could stop running the business I'm running right now. I could start a completely different other business. I could tell people that my name is Igor and I'm a Russian spy. I could start eating junk food all day and turn into a fat piece of shit. I could literally do anything, and I'm not gonna do these things because they don't align with the reality that I want, But understanding that these are all options is the first step to understanding the freedom that you truly have. Your life is a blank slate, and you can follow any rules that you want, and that's gonna make up your perception of reality. Rule number 2, no one's coming to save you. This is a really simple one, but sometimes you just need to get this like beaten into your head. There is no life raft coming. There is nobody that's gonna just take your hand and take you as a mentor and like just carry you to the promised land or give you the money that you want. You actually have to take the personal accountability and responsibility and place it on your own shoulders and decide that you are gonna make a change in your life. Until you do that, nobody will help you, nothing's gonna happen for you, and you're just gonna be perpetually lost and perpetually stuck. Rule number 3 is it's possible to change. You are malleable. Everything that you believe about yourself can be changed. Everything that you're doing on a day-to-day basis can be changed. If you don't know a skill, you can learn it. If you aren't very articulate, you can learn to be articulate. You can learn to be good at sales. You can learn to be a good writer. You can learn to be more charismatic. You can literally add any attribute that you want in life once you adopt the way of thinking that allows you to do so. With enough effort and enough consistency, you actually can transform anything about yourself and you can become a completely different person. Rule number 4 is it's often good to be wrong. So many people are scared of making the wrong decision. Oh, I don't want to pick the wrong business model, or oh, I don't want to live in the wrong city, or do the wrong thing, say the wrong thing. But the thing about this is it's like a multiple choice question. Like you have to cross off the answers that aren't right for you before you find what is right for you. There's a quote that says, if you can see your path laid out in front of you, it's probably not your path. You have to just get into the car and start driving, and then you take a wrong turn, and then you go around an intersection, and then you go around a roundabout, and eventually you end up on the road that's right for you. But you have to cross off all of the things that are wrong for you in the process. And it's those things that are wrong for you that are actually going to equip you with the tools and the attributes and make you become the person who is capable of having the things that are right for you. Rule number 5 is ask what, not when. When you're first starting anything, you want everything to happen overnight. You want to get the 6-pack overnight. You want to have $1 million overnight. You want to get your dream girl as soon as possible. But you have to realize that anything worth having takes time. And if you try to find shortcuts, if you try to negate the learning process, if you try to speed things up and look for a loophole, all you're gonna do is slow yourself down. When really the best move is to ask yourself, what can I do to make sure this happens no matter what, and not get hung up on the timeline? You just have to identify the actions that need to be taken every day to ensure that what you want will happen eventually. Rule number 6, shoot more shots. This one's self-explanatory. With anything in life, whoever gets the most reps wins. If you approach 1,000 girls, you're gonna be really good at talking to girls. If you take 1,000 free throws a day, you're gonna be a really good free throw shooter. If you hop on 500 sales calls, or you write 500 emails, or you send 2,000 DMs, eventually you will get the desired result. In any area of life, if you can just get more reps than 99% of people, you will eventually win. Rule number 7 is there's always a third door. Meaning sometimes you have to be crafty. Sometimes the system that everybody else follows isn't gonna work for you. You're gonna have to find a way to get in contact with somebody that you have no business knowing. You're gonna have to create your own system or do something that other people aren't doing to get the result that you want. Quick story about this one. One time I wanted to work with a YouTuber named Captain Sinbad. I wanted to help him build his coaching program. And I saw that he had just launched it. So I applied for the coaching program and I got on a call with him. And I ended up actually joining the program, sending him $1,000 because he was somebody that I wanted to be close to. And then on our very first call together, I told him about what I was doing and how I was making money, how we were making our clients money and so on. And he decided that he wanted to work with me and became a client that day. That's just an example of craftiness and thinking outside the box. Rule number 8, you're gonna hit walls and that's okay. You're gonna have days where you don't want to get out of bed, you don't want to go for a run, you don't want to lift weights, you don't want to do outreach, you don't want to hop on sales calls, you don't want to do anything, and everything feels like a Herculean feat, but you have to just keep going and push through that wall. And if you push through enough walls, they start to occur less frequently and your brain starts working for you rather than against you. But especially in the beginning of anything, hitting walls and going through times where everything feels really fucking difficult is natural. And that's okay. You have to accept that. And that's the only way that you're actually gonna get through it. Rule number 9, you're gonna feel like an imposter. When you start changing things about yourself, you have to act in a way that you're not used to. And you're gonna be like, this isn't really me, this isn't how I am, this isn't who I am. And you're gonna have that voice that's like, oh, maybe I should just revert back to the way that I was. But if you can ignore that voice and just continue acting in a way that aligns with the person you want to become rather than the person that you were, you will become that new person and you'll forget that you were ever even pretending. Final rule number 10, you have all of the answers, you just have to trust yourself. If somebody came to you with the exact problems that you're facing right now, odds are you'd be able to give them really good advice. Your emotions tend to get in the way when it's your own life, and you start to doubt your own judgment, you start to question the objective truth, and then you start to teeter-totter from one thing to the next, and you just don't know what to decide. You feel lost because you have no direction, and you just don't trust that voice in the back of your head or that feeling in your gut that knows what you want and knows the exact route that you need to take to get it. You have to start following that feeling and developing a deep level of trust in your own intuition, and that's when you'll find the success that you always wanted. Anyway, those are the 10 rules. Thank you for watching. I'll leave you with this quote again. Rather than argue with reality, learn the rules so you can shape it to your wishes. And then you'll become happy and you'll live a life that you want to live. I added that part. But anyway, thanks for watching. Love you. Like, subscribe, comment, share this with your grandma. Go to the description if you want to get rich. Peace.